Then put your little hand in mine. There ain't no hill or mountain we can't climb. Babe, do 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 do. I got you, babe. Do 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 do. I got you, babe.
Okay, campers, rise and shine. Don't forget your booties because it's cold out there today.
Out there every day.
What is this, Miami Beach? Not hardly.
Not hardly.
And you can expect hazardous travel today. Later today with that blizzard thing. That blizzard thing, yeah. I got the weather report right here. It's calling for a big blizzard thing.
Oh, is that my line?
Yeah, it was still your line,
wow.
Yeah. Big blizzard thing.
Yeah, no. Everyone's lips.
No, that's not even close yet, because there's a whole other line that I screwed up because you keep going, wait, was that my line? So you throw me off my game. So 1 second. A big blizzard thing. Calling for a big yes, they are. And you know... 1 second. Is it chapped lips first, or is it especially cold? Okay. Yes, they are. And you know what makes today especially exciting?
Especially cold.
Yes, especially cold. Is the question on everybody's lips.
They're chapped lips.
Yes, they're chapped lips. Will Phil come out and see his shadow?
Punxsutawney Phil.
That's right, woodchuck chuckers. It's Groundhog's Day.
Oink. I'll get it someday.
Okay, everybody. I'm Randy. That's Bobby, and today is April 6th, 2019. Exactly 2 days from our.
Remember us from 2 days ago when we did this other episode late?
Yeah, but this one we've done it on time. Yep. Trump's still in office?
Let me check. Trump, you still in office? Yeah, he's still there. Hold on a second. Portman's still eating? Yeah, he's still eating too. Oh wait, he's dead. Sorry.
Yeah, they're all dead.
Gus still dead? Gus still dead? Yeah, he's still dead.
He fell off a ladder.
Mm-hmm.
In your head
diabetes.
And in your head cannon, yeah. So today, because Bobby's fed up and I'm fed up with everybody and everything, and this is the final episode of Groundcast Day. No, actually, no. This is our.
It's the last day we're recording together, though. I mean, the last day we're watching together.
I'm still trying to figure out how to do it digitally, just over a mic.
Please don't try to do anything that's going to screw this recording up.
But this is the 18th watch of Groundhog Day.
Wow, we did not make it far before we started getting.
No, I have no problem. It's just it's like I think we're getting sick of each other and this movie at the same time.
Yeah. I wanted to watch something else this week, and Randy's like, one more time we have to watch it together.
Well, we haven't done it in 2 weeks, and it shows in the quality of the podcast when we don't watch the film beforehand. So this time, delightfully, every time Bobby tried to walk away and do something else, I would rewind the film all the way to the beginning.
Okay, Focus. I want to talk about the fact that we lost a pen. Randy
put it in a book. I gave it to him in the writing, and the pen was gone.
The same book that I wrote that last thing in, the last journal entries in.
Tales from the book have returned.
It had a pen in it. He handed it from one chair to the couch, which is about 2 feet away, and by the time I got it, the pen had vanished.
Yep, not in anybody's pockets. Bobby somehow lost my pen.
And I couldn't find it anywhere. And I checked the couch cushions. I checked, it's not here. It's not under the couch.
Keep stalling for time. Yep. Not under the couch, not in the couch, not in my chair.
He handed me another pen, and he got all angry that I was looking for the first pen.
Because I just wanted to get this over with, to the point where it's like, I had told him, no, we're not watching it at 1.5 speed. It takes away the integrity of the film.
Well, so
we ended up watching this at 1.5 speed.
We watched it at 1.5 speed.
And after you've done this once, it
took away the integrity of the film.
Yeah, it takes away the integrity of the film, but also the film's not watchable if you've watched it more than once at 1.5 speed. It's just like, okay, this is just noise.
The film's not watchable if you watch it more than once.
No, the film is watchable if you watch it multiple times. Not multiple times week after week, but
it was better for a once a Groundhog's Day watch.
Yeah, like this, it's like if you had said, okay, we're gonna do this once a month, Randy. We're gonna watch it at 1.5 speed once a month. I'd be like, okay, I have no problem with that. But on the tail end of the previous watches of 1.5 speed, one of which I had only done out of necessity because of a miscommunication in which you said, oh no, I never said we were going to watch it together, and then I had to rush to watch it in an hour. So yeah.
This time Randy decided that Rita is a blue fairy.
No, it's like I was riffing because it's like, we're going. They're talking about legends at the beginning. It's like legend has it, a groundhog. Blah, blah. So going into legends, not just our personal mythology, our personal lore we're creating for this. Mm-hmm. The first appearance of Rita is her on a blue screen.
Yep.
Wearing blue. Yep. Floating.
Her head is floating in the air.
Her hands hands and head are floating in air like a fairy godmother. And she's all in blue entirely, taking up the entire view. So I was just going, yeah, no, see, she's the blue fairy, and she's the snow angel.
She's the fucking Good Witch of the North, man.
And she's Good Witch of the North, and she's trying to make Phil self-actualize and become a real person.
Randy, I fucked it up. She's a Good Witch of the South.
Yeah, you really ruined it there, Bobby.
Don't ruin it. Let's not spoil it or ruin it.
Yeah, you really ruined it there like usual.
Mm-hmm.
And just so everybody knows, when this is done, I'm doing a quick edit of this and making it all 1.5 speed.
Great.
So that this episode should only be 13 minutes long. I kid.
Randy then went off on some sort of a tangent about the lyrics to the song.
I want to save that for last until we have to really...
But this is what I wrote in my book.
I know, so we'll come back to that. That's what I told you, is like to table that one for last. Because that way I just pull up my phone and I have the lyrics.
Okay. When Phil... We probably talked about this. When Phil goes to the Groundhog Festival on, I think, the third day, after he kind of rushes and Rita says, "Where have you been?" But he got there earlier. I feel like we discussed that before.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the comings and goings and the inconsistencies of the timeline.
Makes no sense why she would ask that.
There was a point where I was just reading the factual errors of the film, and we're just like, no, we've already talked about these things. It's just simple continuity errors.
Trust our eagle eyes caught everything.
People will say this movie is almost perfect in many ways, but it's like, no, you want a film that does continuity well, that's Back to the Future 1 and 2. This one, it's after the... How many watches before we start noticing this? At least like the fifth watch, we started saying, no, things are starting to get... We're starting to see the cracks. We're starting to see where the inner consistency doesn't hold up. And that's where you get characters like Nancy, the amnesiac looper who's also with him, living the day over and over again, but with agency. Yep. But she just doesn't know she's been doing it because she's never in the same place at the same time when she's supposed to.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what movie? I'm trying to remember. I used to go on some website about movie mistakes. I can't remember what it was called. I think it's defunct now.
Most of them are from that era.
It was I wish I could remember the name of it. But anyway, it was like maybe it was like early 2000s, so maybe it was like before IMDb got really big. Anyway, and it was like
I was using IMDb from like the early 2000s.
Whatever it was. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, I just remembered him saying like, the only perfect movie that has no mistakes in it is 1984.
Never seen it.
The 1984 movie is apparently has no mistakes in it at all.
It's a new wave film. Yeah, it's I don't remember who did it.
No, it was made in 1984, or released in 1984 at least.
Yes, and it was a new wave movie.
Oh, I don't know what that means, Randy.
The style of the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry.
Sorry for you not being a film student.
I'm sorry I was not a film student. But yeah, it has apparently that has no mistakes.
Okay.
I wish I could find you that website, but I can't remember it.
The other thing that I learned today is Bobby was not aware that the IMDb forums no longer exist after I told him if they were still around, I'd be in there every Saturday while watching this film, arguing at people. You should just be live tweeting. I'll just give you your phone, you log in, you can live tweet this film every week.
Come on, IMDb, get your shit together and bring back the forums. If there's one thing that
no, we're fine without the forums.
Really?
You've seen how most of the internet has become a dumpster fire? That was just as big of a dumpster
people
fire.
Just calling each other cooks in the comments and shit. Like, is that what happened?
Oh yeah, we'll say that. Well, they were calling people things that they shouldn't have been. Some libelous stuff. Like a lot of like crazy like.
Okay, here's something for you. Ned doesn't approach Phil on days when he helps the old man.
Yep.
Feeding into the Ned is the devil theory.
Please allow me to introduce myself. Mm-hmm. I'm a man of style and taste. I've been around for a long, long time.
Come on, finish the song.
I need the lyrics in front of me so I can riff on them, but I can't.
Something about waste.
Yes, 1 second. Okay,
dang it, Randy.
Oh yeah, so many a man sold to waste. My name is Ned. They call me the Bull, and I have a large, large head. I dated your sister Mary Pat until you told me not to, or I'd be dead. Mm-hmm. Yes, that was supposed to be sung to the tune of the Rolling Stones' "Sympathy of the Devil." That's all I see every time I see Ned Ryerson now.
Sympathy for the Bull. Yeah, so I'm like, maybe Ned was like
because we know that he doesn't appear anywhere else in town or except to interact with Phil, I'm like, maybe he just waits there to see if Phil will give charity to the old man or not, and if he doesn't, then he tries to sell him insurance.
So you're saying that day it's like, okay, no, today's it's God's turn, so I'm gonna step back and I'm gonna let him try to sell his soul to.
I'm gonna leave this chair for Elijah.
Yep. So that's what he's doing on that day, where it's just like, okay, no, it's like we can't go both at the same time. It's like he's selling his soul upwards, not selling his soul downwards. Let me step back.
He didn't. He gave charity to the old man today. I'm not gonna try to sell him insurance.
He did his good.
Phil eats. Okay, when in the first time, I think day 3 or 4, when Phil realizes that he's actually it's the day after. So I think it's day 4 because it's the day after the police chase. When he's eating the big banquet of food and Rita calls him the wretch.
Oh, that scene was like
Randy hates that scene for some reason.
No, it's just this week on this watch. It's just like, oh, I don't want this anymore.
Mm-hmm. Randy's kind of like full of this movie the way he should have been full of that food.
Yeah, I still love this movie, but I'm just like, I need a break from this movie.
And at the end of the movie, in the penultimate scene, when Phil is helping the homeless man, and he takes him, I think, possibly to the same diner.
No, it's the only place in town.
He's giving him his soup. He's like, here, Pops, eat my soup. So
Why'd you say that so low?
So when he does that, at the beginning, he's only focused on himself and gratifying himself, and by the end of the movie, he's like, no, please, old man, eat my food. So, I don't know.
Let me wash your feet.
Were those supposed to be mirroring each other?
Yes,
maybe?
they are. It's supposed to be multiple scenes of eating this film. It's
because there's not a lot of eating scenes. There's only him eating scene, him with Rita in the restaurant, and then him and the old man at the diner.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
But a lot of the scenes take place at the diner. Presumably after a small...
But we don't see them...
Because when they first meet up at the diner after the big meal scene, he entices her like towards the day of doing... how about I get you a coffee?
But that's not food.
And a donut.
Yeah.
All right, so presumably they've already had their coffee, and she's had her donut, and now they're having a conversation, so they've talked.
Rita's perfect man is Fabio. So when Rita is describing, like... I actually didn't write this down, but when she's describing, like... He's like, what do you wish for in a man? And she's saying all this stuff about how he's courageous and he's this and that. And then she's like, he's got a great body. He doesn't look himself in the mirror every 2 seconds. I'm like, this woman is describing the man on the cover of a romance novel. This is not a real man. This is a fantasy man.
Yeah, she's looking for an ideal. She's looking at the perfect man.
But as an angel, shouldn't she know
he's strong,
better than that?
But soft. Meaning that he has a hard body and a soft emotional inner layer.
But as an angel, shouldn't she know better than that?
But as she's giving her speech there, she's starting to move more towards the outer appearance and more to the inner life of them. It's like, I want them to be cultured, no poetry,
yes, change poopy diapers.
Yeah, it's like show a caring part to them. That's like I want to grow old with them, and I want to have children with them, and I want to know
old. She's an angel.
Maybe she falls after this. Maybe she's become human at the end of this. That's the price of him getting out of the loop and Wyatt Snow's.
Shit! It's like an Aragorn.
It's actually
Arwen thing going on. She loses her immortality.
It's actually the Snow Fathers or Snow God crying at the end when they kiss and the snow comes down. It's him.
His daughter was lost.
Yeah, his daughter's lost. So
she's not immortal anymore.
She's lost her immortality.
Also, she could spend a couple of decades with a human man.
Would this movie be improved by a Lord of the Rings, the Return of the King, multiple ending type of thing at the end, where it just continues going on and on?
And then we did this.
Because the greatest adventure is what lies ahead.
And then we did that. And then we went back to the town. We had a good time. And then I'm leaving for the West.
And then we just realized that this movie had too many characters, and we had to figure out how to give you a satisfying end to at what this point was like 10 hours of movies, 11 hours of film.
We got to have at least 80% Groundhog content. Phil was having fun on the date until he tried to bang Rita and then tried to recreate it. Yeah. So, again, I think we've talked about this before, but, like, the first time the date went well, it was because he just didn't care. He was just there to have fun. And
he was going with the flow.
Rita was laughing. He was laughing. They were enjoying each other's company.
They were having a legitimate connection at some point, because at some point we stopped seeing... the safe's coming. We see everything starting to go together, and everything's coming together, and he's genuinely enjoying his
We're
time
talking about the first time they make the snowman together.
The first time they make the snowman. Bobby's obsessed scene.
And then... But then, on the subsequent times, he tries to like forcefully recreate that snowman
he's trying to
thing.
recapture.
He's not having fun. The reason why she's not having fun is because he's not having fun, because he's desperately trying to like remember exactly what moves he made, things he said last time, trying to like say the exact same thing, do the exact same thing, and it's coming off as fake, and she can sense that.
My problem, though, I have is that now we're bringing this up, is that as a snow angel, she should be aware of the loop occurring and of what happens within it, but she's not from day to day. Unless him saying to her later on that, remember we had a perfect day once, is a clue that, yes, she actually does in the back of her mind remember.
Wait a second. Are you saying that Rita should also be outside of the loop?
If she's supposed to be some divine being within the thing, the cause of the loop, shouldn't she herself be outside of the loop, being the cause?
Randy, she put herself into that loop knowing that she was going to have to help somebody. So she subjected herself to the loop.
Did she not know that?
That's why she can't remember anything.
Did she not know that it was specifically to help him, or is it just that she think there was somebody else? Because as we know, there are multiple loops.
Maybe like the bartender or Nancy could have used Rita to get out of there, but because Phil got to her, she basically got Phil out of there.
Well, let's table that, and we have to think on this now. We got to start thinking about the consistency of our lore we're creating here, and see how this works.
Because I'm saying she was put in there as like a way out, but I guess only one person could use her.
Okay.
There's a couple of other ways out. Like he didn't get some of them, so there's other ways out of there.
One of them is he has to find the One Ring and become the Lord of all creation.
Yeah, one of them is finding like a MacGuffin.
Another one is he has to kill the devil because you have.
One of them is battle. Yeah. There's a couple of ways out of that loop, and one of them was love with Rita, and he got it. It kind of would have been a bit of an awkward movie. It was Nancy or the bartender, but hey, takes all kinds.
He got out of the loop by eventually marrying the ghost in the hallway. That Bobby's like, your internal logic is starting to not hold together because it's like, since we only see it from the one point of view, and I'm like, stop quoting me about point of views in film.
I'm like, but we only see Mrs. Lancaster interact with Phil as well.
It's like, no, we see her interacting with other guests in the...
No, we see her in the room with other guests, but we don't actually see her interacting with anybody else.
But those other guests aren't interacting with anybody else either. They're just all sitting there watching the film.
True. That's
watching
true.
the Jeopardy.
Yeah, I'm going to still say that guy. We only have evidence that one guy's a ghost. Randy came up with this bizarre theory, that Phil merges with the Groundhog during the crash when the car goes off the cliff.
Yeah, I had thought that was your theory from last time. That I have to go back to the tape, but I thought
that was your theory.
No, I was saying they're merging, but at the moment I had thought was yours coming up with it.
Nah, it wasn't me, bro.
Cool story. So anything else on that, or
we got a couple more. We got the sign in the back. We think it might have said Punxsutawney Boy Scouts. That red sign in the restaurant. It kind of looks like a face, but we think it might be a tree with a person in front of it or something.
Yeah, it looks like that. It looks like a tree with a fire in front of it. And,
a fire, sorry.
Yeah, so it's like, it might say Punxsutawney Boy Scouts, but right now it just looks like a Lenny face.
It says Punxsutawney, then it has two words that are illegible.
It's like...
Even in high def, you can't fucking read it.
In 1080p high def, it's like, it's still too much, and unfortunately I don't own a
illegible.
4K TV, and I don't have a 4K Blu-ray player, even though I have a 4K Blu-ray of this.
Get me the original film. I gotta analyze this under a microscope.
Okay, we're gonna get the Ouija board out, and we're gonna go, Harold Ramis, Harold Ramis, Harold Ramis. What does the sign say? And he'll be like, what the fuck, man? Go away. I don't know.
And then, like, we'll be like, wait a second, this isn't a fucking real thing. It's a toy sold by Parker Brothers or something. And you're just moving it with your hand.
Yes. Because Ouija. Yes.
My theory is that Gus was a strapping lad in the Navy before he fell off a ladder, injured himself, and became an alcoholic.
So, my thing right now, I've come to the realization, is that his whole thing about the Navy, say the line.
He's like, this is Gus. He wishes he stayed in the Navy for 20 years. It's like, he wishes he stayed in the Navy. Could have retired after 20 years with half pay.
So my new headcanon for this is that the actor, Rick Ducommun, played... I'm going to get you the exact...
And I'll just jump ahead to the next one right now. Rick Ducommun, dead of diabetes, 2015, at the age of 62.
Yep.
R.I.P. Rick Ducommun.
So, in the movie, The Hunt for Red October.
Yep.
1990... No, I don't care about Pauly Shore being dead. Let's see. It's a film, by the way. He's not actually dead. Oh, where are you, stupid thing?
Hunt for Red October.
1990. He played Navigator C2A. So and now in my headcanon, those two movies occur in the same universe. And is he Ralph or Gus? I forgot. Which
He's
was
Gus.
Gus is Navigator C2A, and that was his rank in the Navy, and that he got out after the events of the Hunt for Red October.
Is C2A a rank in the Navy?
He's just Navigator C2A, so it's like it has to do with...
Because I know there's in the Navy it goes from like
submarines though.
Petty officers, chief petty officers.
C2A.
Hey, look, another ant.
Yeah, kill it. I gotta put traps down now because it's getting nice outside and they're back. No. Let's see, Navy.
I looked at the rank system. It was like you start as like a seaman apprentice.
Oh wait, no, he's the navigator of a C2A.
Yeah.
Greyhound.
We don't know his rank.
Yeah. So yeah, he's just the navigator for that.
He's probably at least like a E5 or something.
So at the very least, he's a navigator.
He's maybe like a petty. What do you call it? Petty officer or something like that, or a chief petty officer maybe. I don't know what rank you are in the Navy when you're a navigator, but he looks like he's been there for a while.
Well, we can research that again because after our previous extra long episode, we're done for today. It's.
Oh wait, I have like 2 more things on this thing.
We're done for today.
No, I have 2 more things on this thing.
I'm gonna hit stop.
No, hurry, please. Buster's wife, in the scene where he's dying and choking to death in the restaurant, her shirt says "faithful follower of something," but we can't see the rest. And actually, that's it.
Yeah, and with that, I'm Randy.
Bye.
It's Bobby, and this is the end.
Who's she a follower of? Who?
She follows the Groundhog. She's part of the Groundhog cult.
Faithful follower of Punxsutawney Phil?
Yeah, it's a Groundhog cult.
There you go.
He is their false idol.
It's like a Cthulhu thing.
Yeah, they worship him. It's like if they lived in Maine, it would make more sense.
What if tomorrow comes and...